it. You got it done.
Well, you know, there's a constantly on one end of it.
Well, we fixed the. She was like that.
It was pretty funny when we walked by and I said, oh, they're fixing it. And it goes, and there's like 4 people looking.
Maddie,
I'm sorry.
All right.
like, who is it?
Calling the June 28th Petaluma City Schools Board of Education meeting to order at 6:05. We're going to start by acknowledging AB 361. Just stating the public health conditions. We are still in a pandemic, so we are staying in a hybrid capacity. Our next item is adoption and approval of the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, special recognitions, reports and presentations. We have some new principals and assistant principals to announce.
Taking on your old job.
See where you're
Back up
headed.
here. Exactly. All right, so the first announcement here is going to be for the new principal of McKinley Elementary and Petaluma Consolidated Charter School, Gina Roberts. If I can. Right, so we are excited to announce Gina Roberts as the new principal of McKinley Elementary and Petaluma Accelerated Charter School. Gina will assume her duties on July 1st, 2022. Gina is a committed leader with 12 years of experience in education. She began her teaching career in Novato as a kindergarten teacher and then moved on to develop the TK program for the Dixie School District. From 2016 to 2021, Gina worked at McKinley Elementary as a teacher and then at TOSA. Most recently served as a student and family engagement coordinator for PCS. She has mentored new teachers and student teachers and supported the rollout of several new programs while working as a TOSA. Gina was born and raised in San Rafael, California. She attended Cal State University, Chico, where she received her bachelor's degree and teaching credential. Gina then attended San Francisco State University to receive her preliminary administrative services credential and her master's degree in educational leadership. Gina looks forward to working collaboratively with staff and families to cultivate a caring and supportive learning environment for all students. She strives to always make decisions with integrity that are best for students and values clear and continuous communication. Gina Roberts lives in Petaluma with her 2 boys and enjoys hiking in Sonoma County, spending time at the beach, reading outdoors, and spending time with family and friends. Gina has a passion for celebrating diversity and building community for everyone to connect and collaborate together. She's excited to be a Mustang again and to lead the school for which she has so much passion. Please join us in congratulating Gina Roberts as the new principal of McKinley Elementary and PAX.
I'm just really excited. This actually just happened shortly ago. And I was a Mustang and super happy to be back at McKinley. Hard to leave the student and family engagement coordinator and everything there, but I will work with that person to continue that piece. But I'm just really excited for this opportunity.
Yeah, congratulations.
Okay, next up, we have the announcement for the new assistant principal of Petaluma Junior High School, Ray Mcclintock. We are excited to announce Ray Mcclintock as the new assistant principal of Petaluma Junior High School. Ray will assume his duties on July 1st, 2022. Ray spent the past 6 years as a social science teacher at Terra Linda High School. In this position, he was the lead teacher for the Marin School of Environmental Leadership, the Marin CEL program. As lead teacher, Ray implemented a project-based framework for courses within the Marin CEL program with a focus on community-supported service projects. He also developed an interdisciplinary model with fellow teachers, which allows students to explore content more deeply throughout several core classes. Simultaneously, Ray also served as the athletic director at Petaluma High School for the past 3 years. Holding these dual roles uniquely prepared Ray for the challenges of site administration. Ray graduated with distinction from Sonoma State University with a bachelor's in sociology. He then earned his single subject teaching credential and master's in education from UC Davis. Finally, he earned his administrative credential and master's in education administration from the Marin Leadership Institute / San Francisco State University. I know, 2 for 2 here, Sheldon.
Got more.
Ray is a born and raised Petaluman who cares deeply for the community. He's a product of PCS and attended Mckinley, Kenilworth, and Casa Grande. Ray married his high school sweetheart, Lindsay, who's a kindergarten teacher at Penn Grove Elementary School. They live with their 2-year-old daughter, Delilah, and in their spare time, they love gathering with family and friends, playing with their dogs, and partaking in all Sonoma County has to offer. Ray's looking forward to building on the tradition of PJHS and working with the incredibly knowledgeable, experienced, and engaged staff. Being a smaller school, he also looks forward to having a more personal connection with all students. Ray hopes to help strengthen the positive campus culture through PBIS and restorative practices, as well as developing a bridge between the PHS and PJHS programs. Please join us in welcoming Ray Mcclintock as the new assistant principal at Petaluma Junior High School.
Well, yes, thank you. As Mr. Harris said, a born and raised Petaluman who went to McKinley, so go Mustangs. Absolutely. I did grow up on the east side, so Kenilworth and Casa, but the west side has accepted me quite well. So I'm excited to be over there. I'm just extremely thankful for the opportunity, and I hope to serve you all in the community really proud. So thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Welcome home, Ray. And lastly, for the announcements, I'd like to announce the new assistant principal of Petaluma High School, Terry Filippo. We are excited to announce Terry Filippo as the new assistant principal of Petaluma High School. Terry will assume her duties on July 1st. Terry started her career in education in 2007 with New Directions, a non-public school that serves students with social emotional difficulties. She came to PCS in 2009 as an RSP teacher supporting Petaluma Junior High, Crossroads, Carpe Diem, Petaluma High, and PAX. In 2018, she worked for Cotati Rohnert Park School District as a middle school RSP teacher and 1st through 3rd grade SDC teacher for students with social emotional challenges. In 2019, Terry returned to PCS, most recently working for the South County Consortium as the teacher in the Therapeutic Support Program. Terry is a Casa Grande High School graduate and earned her bachelor's degree in history and master's degree in education from Sonoma State University. Terry completed her administrative credential and earned her mild, moderate, and moderate severe credentials from Sonoma State University as well. Terry has loved being a special education teacher for the last 15 years because she has had the opportunity to work closely with so many teams of students, caregivers, and other professionals in order to create individualized education plans to fit each student's needs. She strives to serve as an advocate and supporter of at-promise youth and seeks to promote equity and inclusion for all students. Terry doesn't believe that education is a one-size-fits-all endeavor and enjoys working with team members to develop goals and support student success. Terry looks forward to continuing to work collaboratively and creatively with the outstanding Petaluma High School team in order to ensure equitable access so that all students exit high school, college, and career ready. Terry looks forward to highlighting and celebrating the diversity of the staff and student body at Petaluma High, fostering connections with community organizations and opportunities for student involvement in community events, and illuminating all of the amazing things that Petaluma High School has to offer to its students and to the Petaluma community. Terry lives in Rohnert Park with her husband and 2 children. Her hobbies include practicing jujitsu and going on family bike rides. Please join us in congratulating Terry Filippo in her new role as assistant principal of Petaluma High School.
Really good at public speaking, but I'm very grateful and excited for this opportunity. I've loved being at Petaluma High the last 2 years, and I'm really excited to transitioning into a new role that will enable me to build relationships with more of the school community and the community at large. So thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
I just want to note how many gauchos are coming back. I just want to say.
So, welcome to our three new amazing administrators. I can't wait to work with you guys.
And I'm like the oldest gaucho. I'm just saying.
All right. Comments from the public on non-agendized items. So if anyone, either in person or online, would like to make a comment about something that's not on the agenda, put your first and last name in the chat. And we're gonna have the chat open for the next few minutes while I read the board comment policy. Under Government Code, Section 54954.3A, members of the public have the right to address the governing board on any items of interest, providing it relates to the subject matter jurisdiction of the school district. While Government Code allows speakers to criticize the district's policies, procedures, program services, and/or employees, the district does have a policy specific to complaints against employees. Should comments from the public pertain to a specific district employee, the board requests that the complaint first be submitted in writing to the employee's immediate supervisor for investigation. If the comment is about something that is not on the agenda, it will be heard only during the public comment on non-agendized items, period. Once that part of the meeting is over, comments will only be taken on agenda items during the discussion of those items. The board values public comments, and although we cannot take action or discuss items not on the agenda, we listen carefully and appreciate input from the public. Public comments are subject to a 4-minute per person limit or a 20-minute limit per subject matter. Do we have anyone? No. All right, so let's close the chat. Moving on to reports on activities and correspondence of school board members. Since the last board meeting, board members went to Healthy Choices Committee, NAACP Executive Committee, Petaluma Adult School Graduation, Chippa, and a pontoon ride on the Petaluma River hosted by Friends of the River. Okay. Next up, comments from the public on consent agenda items. I'm not going to read the whole spiel again, but if anyone in person or online has a comment about anything that is on the agenda, please put your first and last name in the chat and what you would like to speak about.
It must be summer break or something.
Yeah. Leave it open for like 20 more seconds. All right, we can close it. Okay, next up, approval of consent agenda by consolidated motion.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
A second.
All right, any questions or comments anyone have?
Just excited to see all of the renewals happening. That'll make the communications person's job easier. Like, I like Parent Square. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, me too.
You-
And
you
also
like
the
what?
student
I
teaching
like
agreements.
Parent Square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that there's a lot of student teacher credentials into it. It's great.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, action items. Every meeting, we'll talk about AB 361 if we want to be remote only, hybrid, or in.
I would like to
Comments
stay with
first.
hybrid.
Oh, comments, oh, I'm sorry. Comments. Sorry, skipped an item I always do. Comments from the public on any action items. We'll reopen the chat for about a minute. So if anyone has a comment about any of the action items. Thank you, Caitlin.
Just in case there is someone waiting.
You never know.
Real excited.
All right, we can close the chat on this one. All right, now we can talk about AB 361.
I would like to stick with hybrid myself.
Okay,
I move on item 10.1.1 to stay in hybrid for another 30 days.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, approval of provisional internship permit for special day class teacher at Petaluma High School for the next school year.
I move to approve the request for Granville Morris to teach special day class.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, approval of the contract addendum for the superintendent of Petaluma City Schools.
I move to approve the contract addendum.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? Oh, did you have a question?
No,
Oh,
I
you
just-
said something.
No, but I just want to say this is well earned. and
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, absolutely.
To have our superintendent and,
We're
Stuck with us another year. Thank you.
No, it's for two.
Oh, yeah.
It's for two.
It's
For two.
Oh, for three, actually, yeah, you can't.
Or
do
for
not
three.
leave. Is what we're doing. All right.
Well, I know that. and the two different things are out there. Yeah, this is-
Did you want to say? Okay, okay. Approval of the adopted budget for the 2022 to 23 school year. Thank you, Chris, for your presentation at the.
Oh, I'm
previous
sure
meeting.
she has updates.
Oh, do you have enough? You added some pages.
All I'd like to say is your budget binders are here if you want to take them home. And there's been no changes since last Thursday.
Wow, okay.
I think that's under 30 seconds, Matthew.
Yeah. that's amazing. World record. Yeah.
All right.
Well then, yeah.
Chris, have you seen, I mean, you've heard the news about the presumed agreement between the governor and.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'd also like to add it's completely outdated.
But it sounds
But
like.
we have to
there's gonna
adopt
be
something.
But it's a good
Yeah,
outdated, right? So yes, yes, I was reading some summaries yesterday and we will be recalculating our LCFF,
Mhm.
all five of them,
Mhm.
to redo our revenue and the block grant is in the governor's budget proposal. So we'll be looking at
Mm.
what does that mean for us? And we will be bringing disclosure of those amendments to our budget in August within the 45 days.
Also been approved, right?
Yeah, that'll be part of the LCFF. So yes, I'm still trying to make sure I understand exactly what that means for us, but
Sure.
it sounds like we can use 2019-20 for all 3 years for the average
Mhm.
versus
I
just
got.
2 years. But I'm just,
Yeah.
I've got to kind of drill down into making sure that's what it is. But yes,
What
Yes,
about our
CSP.
retirement obligation?
there is no money in the budget for retirement for the STRS and PERS increases. But the COLA stands as 6.56 and then the augmentation went from 3.29 to 6 point something.
Wow.
So there will be a significant change to our LCFF calculations and then the one-time block grant are the most significant. But the ADA piece, I'm also going to be taking a look at. So yes, there's definitely some changes
Right.
to the positives. So we're very grateful for that. So anyway, yeah, stay tuned. We'll be bringing something back.
And that's
in
actually
August.
half. Yeah,
No,
CSBA, there was
it's- They come to an agreement, they have to vote.
they haven't voted on it, but
Well, the governor hasn't signed it yet. So the governor has to actually sign it into law, which we're anticipating will happen the next couple days.
they have to do it by the 1st, right? Or they don't get. They don't
By
get,
tomorrow.
or, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, we look forward
Good
to
news.
him signing. I mean, he still could blue line, red line,
Right.
green line. purple line.
Whatever Penny feels.
You know, I don't know what he's gonna do. My
Sharpie,
guess is
crayon.
he's gonna approve it as is, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, there is some positive movement. Giving more money to education. Some of it, a big chunk of it being one time. So, but the augmentation to the base is an ongoing augmentation.
Oh,
So
good.
That's good.
Yeah, so the COLA and the augmentation
Right.
are ongoing, so. yes.
Right.
Well, then I move to approve the adopted budget for now.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Next up. 2122-38.
So 10.2.2, 10.2.3 are the same. Actually, 10.10.2 and 10.2.3 are the same. Following that is 10.2.3 and 0.4. Those are just for the subsequent year. So basically, these are bringing to you what we're required to do, which is disclose how we're spending our Prop 30 money. Prop 30 dates back in the recession when they passed Prop 30 to help public education because of the recession, the impacts. And so we're obligated to disclose both for the current year and for the next year, how we're anticipating for each of our districts, including the charters, how we're planning on spending our EPA dollars. We spend it all on teacher salaries and benefits. We disclose the beginning balance, the expenditures, and the projected ending fund balance for both years.
So it's the way that you decide to spend it, like you said, on teacher salaries and benefits. Is that the case at any district, or can a district decide how they're going to spend it?
I would say that the majority of districts, that's how they spend it.
Yeah.
So there are other ways that we could spend it, but primarily it was to preserve teacher salaries. and,
Yeah.
You know, teacher positions back in the Great Recession.
Yeah.
So that's primarily, and there's some exclusions. You can't use it for management, for example. So there are some exclusions, but
Thank you.
I move to approve resolution 2122-38.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
Yeah, just keep.
She's gonna ask what was the same.
I
Oh,
can,
okay, I move to approve resolution 2122-39.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to approve 2122-40.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I move to approve resolution 2122-41.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move to approve resolution
Wait,
212.
wait. This is something new.
Oh, it is. I was just like, I was on a roll, Sheldon. Oh, it's
So-
just-
Our designated.
So 10.2.6 is a resolution designating who can sign, authorize personnel to sign contracts, and essentially that's the superintendent myself. And this is, we do this each fiscal
Well,
year.
how do you both feel about that? Do you accept that responsibility?
I have writer's cramp.
Yeah. That's a workers' comp issue. You need to talk to HR. Yeah.
You should get a stamp.
No one's ever given me a form, but yes.
That's fine. Jason? Well, then I move to approve 2122-42.
No, it's 41.
Is it 41?
No, it's 42.
Oh, sorry.
So, yeah.
You second?
Yeah, sure. Second.
All in favor?
Aye. And I move to approve 2122-43.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have fun with resig.
Are we just going to have the same people?
Resig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually was nominated, elected back onto the executive committee. So I also get to serve in that capacity. It's super exciting.
Yeah,
But
I can tell.
I will tell you, it is important work.
It is,
really,
yeah.
Yeah,
it
it
really
is.
is important work.
Keep our rates down.
No, what about Duncan Central?
Just that, they're losing dentists. And so I contacted Reggie. It's something we can talk about. I like that you're on the board.
Well, I'm on the board, Matthew, as an alternate myself, but the executive committee meets monthly. And so we're the ones who make recommendations to the board. So it's important work and it's an honor just to be nominated.
Oh. We'll get you a tiara next time.
Well, I did serve on the Marin Schools Insurance Authority Board as president for 10 years before I came here. And as an officer for like 20 years, so
Oh.
insurance
Over
is
the
kind of,
enough.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely want to.
yeah, I don't know if they make insurance tiaras.
Right. There's a market, I'm sure. Someone on Etsy.
Etsy has.
Yeah,
everything.
Etsy has like one whole insurance tiara.
All right. Did we already do this one?
No.
No.
43,
L
okay.
chapter next.
Did we approve?
Yeah.
10.2.7?
Yeah.
we did, okay. All right, next up, LCAP.
I move to approve 2021 through 2024 LCAP.
Second.
Any final questions or comments on this? No?
No.
We
seen it a
said it
few
all
times, so,
Thursday.
yeah.
All right. All in favor?
Hi.
All right, Ed Services. Local performance indicator quick guide.
So we have.
Tony,
Hello, everybody.
Live from
Oh,
Iowa.
good.
Wow.
Very good.
Where are you?
Right now I'm in Wisconsin, so Yeah.
Even more.
visiting some family. I actually had a little bit of food poisoning the last day or so. So it's been an interesting morning and afternoon. Anyway,
Oh,
It's the worst.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in regards to our local indicator, it's really a self-reflection tool required by the district, required by the state for us to complete. It's a vehicle for the district to report its learning and progress to the public as it relates to the state priorities. With this year's local indicator, based on data from the youth surveys and data reflection processes we've had throughout the year, conversations, this is just a reflection of where we felt we are, and then we'll be submitting it to the dashboard later this month.
I just had a quick question about the reflection and if you were if that was all this year. Oh,
Yes.
he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. There he
Yep.
is. Okay, and so that you and your team wrote all of the reflection and gave the grades?
Yes, so we looked at other local data like the surveys that we've had, reflection processes that we had with the site administration, conversations we had, other data that we looked at just to kind of glean and get a sense of where we think we are. And where we think it doesn't really talk about how successful we are in implementing, but it just talks about how we felt we have been in regards to the implementation of some of these priorities. I think for us, it's just a really good opportunity to reflect for ourselves, to see where we think we can continue to improve, where we've continually have done well. So I'm hoping, using this tool along with the dashboard will help us make better decisions as we move forward for next year and go through another reflection process throughout the year.
Tony, is this a new thing? I don't remember ever seeing it before.
Yeah, it should be every year that the local indicator is available for the public and the board to review and look at. I think it's been around for a little while.
Okay, thanks.
I appreciate your honesty on
honestly,
many of
yeah.
the, it was really refreshing to see that and also kind of like, oh. But thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, next up, the LCAPs for Penny Grove, Mary Collins, Cherry Valley, and Pax.
So the charter LCAPs don't, every year it's really just more information. They don't necessarily need to be approved, just to be received. It's not an action item. They, from my understanding, has been a really good LCAP from my previous viewings of it and conversations around it. So there isn't any changes for their LCAPs this year. I think I know we'll have some new leadership in some of those schools, so that will be a whole new process for them to kind of review and look at, and I would anticipate some adjustments as they move forward with the new leadership at some of those schools.
Thank you. Thank you. Cool. Okay, future business. Thank you, Tony.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks,
Get
Well-
better.
Feel better.
It's nice
Thank
because
you.
it's over.
And
Yeah.
enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stay away from that Midwest dairy.
All right, any future business?
Last time I asked about diversify narrative, and I was wondering if maybe August, I guess, when school's back.
Yeah, I think, I can tell you that, but yeah, where we will plan to bring something back in the early fall.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, thanks.
Along those
I
lines,
know Tony and Maite are both sort of involved in that, with
Okay.
that objective, so, and myself, we'll bring something back in early fall.
Great, thank you.
so along those lines, I met somebody who does books around diversifying a narrative, so I'll send that information.
Okay.
But also on gender equity and Title IX. We had a tour, when was that? The beginning of COVID? With a young student from,
Oh, yeah.
who did a tour of Petaluma High and the Lady Trojans softball field.
Right.
And she was 11 at the time, I think, and
I
she
remember.
came to our board meeting
Yeah.
and was upset and very, and wanted us to see that there was not equality or equity between the
Right.
baseball field and the softball field. And so I was just thinking if we could have, and it was that Title IX's 50th birthday.
Yep, this year.
So we had a big birthday cake at AUW and.
Yeah.
So it's on my mind and I was thinking with everything that's going on, I would like to kind of get a kind of a survey of our sports, facilities and teams and that kind of thing around the gender equity, where we stand.
Yeah.
And whatever else you guys would like to hear, but I think it's really important and I'd like to get back to, I think COVID kind of
Yeah.
put all that on the back burner, but that, one of her objections was the scoreboard and it's still there. And so, and part of that is the,
This is Petaluma High, right?
Petaluma High.
Yeah, and actually,
Yeah, we talked about it, yeah.
Yeah, I just recently met with the softball coach and community members, and actually Ray Mcclintock was there. And we're actually working on improvements this summer to that softball field, including working with them on replacing the scoreboard, et cetera. So some of that we're hoping to do some of it over the summer and get other items on order. So we're looking at things like replacing some of the risers and looking at new designs for the dugouts and just really kind of cleaning up that area. So we're working on the girls softball field at Petaluma High School in
That's
particular.
great. That's great. So just, yeah, that kind of update would be wonderful.
On the note of Title IX, it doesn't need to be a item for us, but just making sure the Title IX coordinators on the website are updated.
That was the other thing.
Yeah.
And make sure that they're
It's the right
really
people.
easily accessible.
Yeah. Because I mean, when we were running, it was people that hadn't even worked, like Joanna was still listed as a Title IX coordinator for Kenilworth, but she didn't work there. So that's just
Yeah,
a
and
good July
there's
1
no-
thing.
There's no hurry on it. It's just on my mind. So.
That'll be a perfect first job for
Right.
our new.
Yeah,
communications.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
I've got that down for her.
Perfect.
She can
But I think,
highlight
you know
all
what,
the new changes. at
Part of
the
it,
softball
it can't be done immediately.
Right.
You have to allow some time for, because
Yeah.
new teachers or new counselors,
Right.
new
Yeah.
administrators will become, so it takes a little time into, probably late August, early September, where you can get that updated. Yeah,
Well, would it be updated by the time school starts?
right around the time school starts, because what happens
That's
at
perfect.
the staff meeting, they're
Right.
early staff meetings, you're sort of deciding who's gonna be doing this role, so around that, the first few weeks of school, yeah.
But we should at least make sure that no one's listed that literally doesn't work here in the meantime.
Got it.
Can Harvey just got slammed with the Title IX.
Yeah, shocker.
Yeah, well, one of the people I was talking to, they had done a survey of the whole Bay Area. And so I talked to her and I said, where's Petaluma on this? She said she was done yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some an LGBTQ girl was harassed for years. They didn't know. Any other future business?
Happy Pride.
Pride.
All right, meeting adjourned.
Oh, my.
Have we ever had